Hello and welcome to Intrepid Racing League Tier 2, Round 2, Bahrain. I don't know what else to say. My name is Toasty Oven Bread. I will be your commentator tonight. Hello, bro, Joshua and Dan, who I missed because for some reason my mic wasn't working. KNYT Kid needs to load into the game faster. Alright, here we go for the first session tonight. 18 minutes qualifying. After this, we will have 29 laps in the dark. I guess not in the dark, but at night. 4 straight zones, one on the main straight, then in replacement of that second DRS zone in that first sector, and then you get the addition of a new one in that second sector down between all the corners and everything, and then another one in sector 3 down to that final corner. Straight. It'll be a fun race. We will follow Mo on his entire out lap and his hot lap. The Cadillac driver did DNF in Australia. He received a pretty hefty penalty for his actions. Our team will get that pulled up. Incident from the reporting track. That is what happened to Mo in Australia, leading to his DNF and that penalty after the fact. But here we go with the first lap tonight. Mo will be leading us off, the Cadillac driver, waiting. You can hear that big lift into the first corner, gaining all the energy that he can. Then it is flat out through here on the power, putting as much work as you can into your battery. That straight mode open into the second sector shortly as he is flat out on the power. Very, very tight through here, getting the optimal line to carry as much speed throughout heavy braking zone down into here as you are back on the power. Quick, he's going to have a little bit of traffic out in front, but he doesn't have to quite worry about that just yet. The McLaren pulls aside, letting him go. Straight mode activated once again for that Cadillac as they head down to round off the Sector 2. More traffic pulls it to the side. Yellow flags are out. That's going to be disabling the boost mode. That could lead to a penalty. It is a purple Sector 2 for Mo. And the Cadillac straight mode open for the first time this season in Bahrain. We are watching the driver complete the lap around Bahrain. It is Mo for Cadillac with a solid lap, 129.5 for him. Bro Joshua, 128.6. The Aston Martin driver following up with a beautiful lap. Then Frenny, 28.7. You're already seeing the faster guys put in their times, showing off their pace. Djokovic, 28.9. JT, the other Cadillac, 29.3. 2/10 faster than his teammate, who currently sits P5. Slowest of completed laps. Then here is 7, the Ferrari driver. Heading down into the first corner. Beautiful on the acceleration, lifting through here, trying to regain energy that you used. Your straight mode's going to be activated. You're waiting. You can get a big lift into this corner as you head down into the other part. And then here into Sector 2, restarting 7. Put up a beautiful purple Sector 1. Straight through here, flat out, heavy braking zone. The Ferrari driver dealing with the yellow flags now as the Haas, or that might be a Cadillac, I can't really tell, pulls over to the side. Yellow flags are out. Straight mode on for 7. Trying to see what he can do as Dylan leaves the lobby. Currently, Bro Joshua still holds that provisional pole, 128.6, the time to beat. But 7 has just put in a beautiful 107 through Sector 2. Straight mode activated in Sector 3. Heading down, he is putting it all out here now into the final corner. That lift is powerful, rejuvenating some power as you put it all the way down. Frenny is complaining in the chat about Mo, and this is 7 to P3, 28.9. Hello, Lewis. I hope you were having a beautiful day. Looking down the order, Bro Joshua currently on the top of the timing page. Still 28.6 the time to beat. Frenny sits P2 and his teammate 7 P3. Djokovic is still in P4. Slayer Saskin second highest Aston Martin in P5. KNYT Kid in P6 for the Williams team. JDJ in P7. Aero Knight P8. Diner P9. Mo P11 as we see Soup jump to P3. 28.8 to split the Ferraris. Putting in a beautiful lap with that Williams car. Mo P11, phenomenal Batman in the Audi P12. Watching him on a cooldown lap. Joseph P13 and Seo P14. Kayet Pex is going to be starting his lap. Pedro allowing traffic through, causing the yellow flags for that Haas driver. They're going to be a little bit upset if they were on a push lap. Diner is not, though. Here's Capex on his fast lap, pushing it through the corner. Hello, Blitz. How are you doing? Purple Sector 1 for Capex. The McLaren driver who had an unfortunate spin in Australia, looking to show his pace that he couldn't show that. Heading it through Sector 2 into the S. One of the more kinder sections of the track. Don't have to worry too much about your braking. Into Sector 3, that straight mode, on for the last time this lap. Into the final corner, Capex. Looking to put in something. Can he do it? No, he cannot. 29.5, P11 for the McLaren. Teammate sitting P17. Not quite a lap put in. I don't know what Pedro's doing. What I really want to see is championship leader Mark go out on a lap. He had a phenomenal race in Australia, and I'd love to see what he could do. His teammate Dylan unfortunately crashed into turn 1 with a more funnier moments, but for him it was not. Fernie on a push lap through the first corner. He's going to get some yellow flags at a crucial part of the lap. I don't know how much that messed him up. We'll have to see as he heads into the heavier braking zone. KNYT Kid goes P3, beating his teammates by just about 100. It's crazy. We're seeing a lot of people on their outlaps now. Frenny still pushing, people pulling off to the side. A lot of yellow flags out. Watching that mini map in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, you can see where the yellow flags are coming out, and there was quite a bit. Frenny heading down the final straight in Sector 3. Getting a little bit of traffic. That's going to cause some more yellow flags, especially on the exit of that corner. That could hurt Frenny. Where does he go? He goes to the top. It's a 128.59 flat for Frenny. The new provisional pole sitter, Red Joshua, going to be looking to try to beat that. I think he's on a push lap right now. I guess we'll find out. Yes, he is, as he takes a purple Sector 1. Looking to reclaim what he just lost. Yeah, Frenny complaining on the radio. He was complaining to his engineer. Can't hit a lap with yellow flags every turn. Engineer dismissing him. Not much that he can do. Red Joshua into the third sector. Frenny's Frenny's team principal. Wow. Frenny's team principal, Senzaka, asking to stop causing yellow flags. Obviously, something is happening that is not making Ferrari happen, but here is Bro Joshua across the line. It's a 128.4 for the Aston Martin. Bro Joshua, here's championship leader Mark. He won the first race in Australia. Can he do it again? He'll be looking to. He was very, very dominant. Didn't have much competition other than the safety cars that kept coming on. Hello, Senzaka. Mark coming out of the final corner. Will he sit on the pole? Yes, he will! It is Mark to the top, 28.332. His teammate will look to beat that. Dylan sat on pole in Australia. Can he go back to back? These Red Bulls, I don't know, their championship fight. It could happen. 7 complaining on the radio as well. The other Ferrari stopping on track. Davis, long-time Red Bull team principal, making a joke on the radio. Don't want to. We love our team principals, especially Davis as Dylan. Wow, purple sector 2. He'll be looking to pull it away from his teammate. Dylan kind of on a revenge drive, trying to show what pace he can hold. Couldn't show any of it in Australia. Can he show it here? Dylan across the line. P9 for the Red Bull. Wow. He is 0.6 off his teammate. Nowhere near the pace that he was showing in Australia. Maybe it was a fluke. He still has time. 4 minutes left in the session. So there is obviously time to set a lap. Be on the lookout. Here's Plum. Plum had some incidents in Australia. Quite a bit of penalties. Oh, and he will completely cut that corner of the track, invalidating whatever lap he was on. Everyone heading out on their out laps for the final time. Not much really to watch. Here's Dylan on his go down. I don't know. Frenny. He was been complaining on the radio quite a bit. Both of the Ferraris. Fernie had a little bit of a revenge drive in Australia. For him being quite happy with his finishing position. Plum coming on the radio. Thank you, Mr. Haas, for blocking. Everyone complaining on the radio tonight about the yellow flag seems to be an issue. FIA stewards might have to look into that, depending on how severe things have been. But yeah, I have seen quite a bit of yellow flags now. Frenny heading into Sector 2. Straight mode will be activated. Have to look to see what he can do. He's going to be pushing, though. Yeah, Frenny started P14 in Australia. Ended up P4 in the final classification. He might be. He might be. Frenny! Sector 3, straight mode open into the final corner. Power on, down right now to the line. He will have provisional pole, 128.2 for the Ferrari. He'll be happy with that. We'll have to see what everyone else can follow it up with. Mark will not be exiting the pit, so he'll be done. I think he is sandbagging, you're right. Wow, there is Mo. He is completely stopped on track. Yellow flags are out. 7, feel free to report back. Yeah, that was excessive slow. But it was an out lap anyway, so never mind. I can just... Here's 7. He was complaining on the radio as well about the yellow flags. Frenny on the radio saying I could have done better. I feel like, Frenny, that's a great lap. Don't be upset and discourage yourself. Dylan, Mark, and Seyao's qualifying sessions will be over. Cadillac sat on track, bringing out yellow flags for everybody. Here's 7, the Ferrari driver. Tyler's done as he pits. Complete yellow flags out. That will be no boost mode right now for 7. Wow, Pedro shoots up to P4. 28.7 out of nowhere. Wow. Top 5 done. Bro Joshua not able to put in a pole lap. He was real close though. 7 goes P5. As he wraps up his lap. Big Plum P7. Djokovic, I do not think is improving. No, he will duck into the pits. Aero Knight will follow. That will wrap up our qualifying session tonight. Frenny taking home a beautiful pole with a lap that he said that he could have done better with. Obviously, it didn't matter. P1 for Frenny. Bro Joshua takes home P2 on the second row. Bro Joshua will be happy with that. Then Mark, P3. Interesting that he will probably win the race. Soup, P4. First time racing with us here in Tier 2 this season. JDJ at P5. Not bad for him. Seven, P6. Teammate P1. He'll have to show off. He'll try to be the better Ferrari. Feels like it's kind of a Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton situation. Pedro P7. He took home. I think he qualified P3 in Australia. So big jump for him. Big Plum P8. Djokovic P9. KNYT Kid P10. Dylan P11. Aero Knight P12. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people on the radio are quite upset by the yellow flags. Apparently, Dylan is having some car issues. Not giving him any feedback in the steering. Engineers will be working hard. All right, here we go. For the second time this season, we have 5 red lights, and away we go. Racing in Bahrain, Freddie on that pole position. He'll be trying to keep it, but Bro Joshua gets a good getaway. He'll be attacking in the first corner, side by side for the lead of this race. Bro Joshua has the grip, but it's Freddie who goes through. He gets the better exit of the corner. It is Freddie P1, Bro Joshua P2, Suit P3. Yellow flags in the back for Niner. Mark fighting with JDJ for P4, but it is Mark in P4 currently. JDJ P5. More yellow flags for the other Haas, Joseph. Both of the Haas's have been tossed by some sort of spin, dropping down the order. It is Big Plum P6, KNYTK P7, 7, P8. He has dropped down the order. Same with Pedro in P9. Djokovic P10, Slayer Saskad in P11. It is Aeronite P12, Mo P13. Phenomenal Batman P14, Dark T P15, Dylan in P16. I wonder if he's still having some car issues. Could the engineers not fix it, or has he been messed up in some sort of way? I guess we'll have to wait to see what we can find out. It is Sale P17, and here's Joseph. Does not look to be any major damage on him. Capex P19, and P20 is Diner. Back to the front of the grid, though. This is what everyone wants to see. Bro Joshua versus Frenny heading down in the first corner. They are going to be swapping positions. It is Bro Joshua up into P1. The Aston Martin driver. He was very, very happy with his result in Australia, so he'll be happy to be fighting for the win here today. Yeah, Bro Joshua P5 from P9. In Australia. He was saying in interviews after the race how he was really glad that he could do that. The Aston Martin doing a beautiful, beautiful job of staying ahead. Here is the tires. Just about everybody on the mediums. Mark on the hards, Pedro softs. Dark T and Dylan soft, Sale hards, and Joseph on the soft. Dylan complaining on the radio to his engineers, saying, "Why am I on softs?" Apparently, did not get the strategy down for that one, as he is a P15. It is Bro Joshua. As we complete the second lap of the Grand Prix, he'll be fighting for the lead once again. Mark takes the fastest lap, sitting in P4, but he'll be struggling in the back there. JDJ gets ahead of Big Plum. 7 gets ahead of KNYTK. It is Bro Joshua who still leads. Big Plum and JDJ fighting throughout the third corner. Keeping it clean though. Yellow flags. Uh-oh. Who is that? That's Djokovic! Down for P10. He is tumbling down the order as we're watching side-by-side racing. JDJ stay ahead of Plum, and KNYTK gets ahead of 7. That's brought Pedro back into the mix. He's now looking on a move on 7 if he can get it done. Look at him on the softs, trying to utilize this advantage. He won't have it for much longer. He'll really need to push. Everyone down this straight, you can see all the cars beautifully. The Alpine and Mercedes fighting. Jumping back to the mid-pack though. Everybody with the straight line mode open. 7 goes on the attack on KNYT Kid. Down the inside. Can he make it stick? No, he cannot. And he gets his line compromised by Pedro. Pedro is right there. That's going to mess everything up. Loses a little bit of momentum. It is Bro Joshua. He'll still stays ahead. KYT Kid is now fighting Big Plum for P6. Big Plum just completely squeezing him out. I think that he might lose to the other Ferrari. 7. Down the inside, they're going to make a little bit of contact. Now Williams and the Mercedes, they're going to cause a little bit of a hold-up. 7 gets by. Here comes Pedro. Down the inside, which turns to the outside. He can't make a stick. Now he's fighting with Plum. Trying to make it 3 wide around that hairpin. KYT Kid has the speed. Going on the attack for 7. Pedro in the mix. He's trying to stick it around somewhere. Has a little bit of a slide. That's going to compromise all of his speed. He drops down the order now. Down to P8. Big Plum now goes really wide. Attacking on... Oh! They're going to make a little bit of contact. The Cadillac and the Mercedes. Wow, they're just going to be completely beefing it out. And here comes the Aston Martin driver. Big Plum down to 11th. And the other Aston. Slayer. Big Plum thinks about the inside. Mo completely cuts across him, hitting Big Plum. Wow! What is this? The top 4 have really pulled away from everybody. I mean, JDJ is 2 seconds back from Mark. But this mid-pack is still completely battling. Look at this. Mo and Pedro. Big Plum making sure that he can stay ahead. 7 still trying to pull ahead. Following the behind of KYT Kid. 7 is gaining a lot of time on him. He has the speed. Can he get it by? The Ferrari driver with the straight mode. He will be going for an overtake. Moves to the left. Goes to the right. He can't quite stick it though. He has the room. He has the speed. He has the overtaking link. But he doesn't do it. He stays behind. The other Ferrari, Freddy, right behind Bro Joshua. This might be his opportunity. This might be his chance to get back into the lead of the race. He has the speed. He will have the overtake boost mode. He will go for it. He looks down the inside of Bro Joshua. So does Mark. Mark looks down the inside of Soap. The two go, or Soup, sorry. The two battling. Bro Joshua gets ahead. And Soup loses to Mark. It is Bro Joshua, then Freddy, who is now attacking for that lead of the race again. Around the outside, can Freddy do it? Number 74, he is looking for the move. I think he has done it. Freddy gets back into the lead of the race on lap 6. Mark says P3, Soup P4. JDJT P5, kind of in no man's land right now. 7 and KYT Kid battling. It is a big spin for KYT Kid as now Pedro hits him. Side by side, KYT Kid and Mo. Mo P9, Big Paul P10. Dylan trying to go back on a recovery, following everybody behind in this train. I wonder if KYT Kid or Pedro has damage. That looked like a big, hefty hit. Here's Mark gaining on Bro Joshua. Bro Joshua gaining on Frenny. I think we might see battling at the front here. We'll have to see who is strategic. I think Mark might hold out. He might save. He might conserve. Or he'll be trying to follow Bro Joshua through. Bro Joshua on the outside of Freddy. Freddy trying to defend his position. Holding P1. It is Freddy and Bro Joshua still side by side as they head down into the second straight. It is a corner. They're still side by side. Mark trying to follow someone through, but Joshua has a little bit of a slip. It's going to lose the momentum. He won't be able to continue sitting side by side. But now it's Mark on the attack. down the inside of Bro Joshua, and Bro Joshua hits him! And then Soup hits Bro Joshua! These hards, I think, are starting to come alive. Mark in the Red Bull has just overtaken Bro Joshua, moving himself to P2 in the race. Now hunting down Frenny, seeing what he can do. Bro Joshua might not be content about how that went down after he made contact with the Red Bull. He'll be looking to try to reclaim his P2. Mid-pack hasn't changed much. Pedro still P7. KNYT Kid P8. Mo P9. Big Plum looking for a move. Cannot. He backs out. It is Dylan P11. Dark T P12. Phenomenal Batman P13. Slayer Saskat P14. Arrow Knight P15. Sayao P16. K-Pax P17. Djokovic after his spin P18. Joseph and Diner P19, P20 respectively. They're going to go side by side after they both had big conundrums in the first lap. Big Plum and that is JDJ both pit here on lap 8. They're putting themselves into this two-stopper. Bart looking on Freddy. Thinks about the inside. He backs out though. Watching Soup. He hesitated. He thought he wanted that move done, but he backed out. He did not. Played it safe. I think that's Pedro. Pedro might have spun. Yellow flags out in the back. Pedro falls down the order. Down to P9. Dylan up to P8. This recovery drive going his way as he continues to make up places. The Alpine, Dark T, and Phenomenal Batman go racing. The Audi gets ahead and stays ahead. It is Mark on Freddy. He is gaining and gaining. I think he might make a move soon. Watch that time. Watch to see how it moves. Here is Mark looking for the overtake. He will not have the overtake this lap. Freddy will, and Freddy gets ahead, and I think he'll be able to stay ahead. Who's that in the back? It's an Audi! It's Phenomenal Batman! I think he had an issue as he drops down to P16. Bro Joshua and Soup both pit, leading Freddy and Mark to go battling for this first and second place alone. You can see in the back the Williams and Mo fighting. 7 in his own little land now. He'll have to see how the undercut works compared to the other people he was around. Mark and Frenny still battling hard. Oh, that's K-Pax. K-Pax is spun in the first sector. He uncovers himself from that gravel as Mark gets ahead of Frenny. Sorry we missed the overtake, but now it is Mark who leads this Grand Prix. 8 laps on the hards, doing him strong and well. 7 looking for a safety car who will help him in this race. The Ferrari team will be super happy if they can score a double podium here. But I think 7 just needs a little bit of luck. He has been getting so unlucky this race, dealing with all these battles, slowing him down. Frenny, he gets really close to the back of Mark there. That's going to compromise his exit on that corner. Frenny will have to put in some work. I think he might be trying to commit to the one stop. As the other Red Bull, Dylan, is still out on his softs. 9 laps on them. Starting his 10th. He's really trying to extend these. In real life, we've watched some drivers extend their softs. Arvind Lindblad in Monaco, he really extended those. We'll have to see if Dylan can do something similar. KNYT Kid will come out behind Big Plum. That is big for Big Plum. He'll be happy about that, especially on those hards, as they will soon to kick in. Pedro goes around the outside of Mo. Beautiful overtake. and Dark T sitting watching the Cadillac try to go around the outside of the McLaren. Just isn't quite there though. Bro Joshua gets ahead of Arab Knight. Bro Joshua storming through the field. He is on beautifully fresh tires. And he's just going through everybody who is on old tires. Will it slow him down a little? Yes. But not by much, because these drivers have so much wear on them. You can see on their tires the scrubbing. You can see how dirty and messy that is. And the other Aston Martin gets a little bit of a spin in the back. That is Slayer Saskat. Yellow flags. But Joshua now in open air, clean air, seeing how he can push. Trying to make this undercut work as Freddy pits out of P2. Putting on a fresh set of mediums. He is committed to the 2-stop. His teammate now claims P2. 7. I wonder if he'll be trying the 1-stop. I mean, at this point, it might really help. If 7 gets a really good safety car, I think he very well could take home a solid P2. Where Joshua in the clean air, completely flying. He is ahead of Frenny, and he has a little bit of breathing space before he has to start to look at his mirrors. He's ahead of Soup. Soup is under attack by Frenny at the moment. We're watching this Ferrari, who is going to be very, very impatient. He wants to get back into clean air so that he can start to hunt down Mark. He needs this 2-stop to work, and to make that work, he needs to push. Especially on an important instance like this. He needs to get into clean air and try to cut down the lead to Mark. Dealing with Soup up ahead. I know that Frenny will be digging at his skin to try to get by. All over the back of him, looking at that car slide. I think Frenny is going to be trying to make a move here. Can he do it? He has the power. He puts it to the max. Cannot quite get the speed though. He'll have the overtake though. Will he be able to do it on the straights? His teammate gets out of P2. 7 on to fresh hards. Can he take those hard 17 laps? We'll have to see what lap Mark hits, because that will tell us. Dylan will get a 3-second time penalty for track limits. I didn't even see that Freddy has his time penalty. I wonder if that was for a pit lane. No, it was for track limits. Freddy is slowly losing Soup. His strategy not quite going to fruition. Being stuck behind these guys is losing him valuable time that he needs to try to catch to Mark. To make this 2-stop work, like I have said, he needs to push, and he needs to push hard. Make best use of his tires. It's not quite going his way. 7 battling with Plum. Look at all these drivers. And the sector 2 straight. 7 thinks about an overtake. He can't quite get the room for it though. Has to hold and be content with P11. On the fresh hards though, he'll be able to work his way through that field rather quickly. Can't wait to get moves ahead. Yellow flag to the very back. And yellow flags, I think that is for the other Aston Martin Slayers. Dark T gets a 3-second time penalty. Shukovic will go into the pits and he'll get a time penalty for speeding. Slayer will retire on track. Holy lag, I have no idea what happened there. There's Slayer's retired car. The Alpine goes off track. Trying to follow through, trying to make that 3 wide. Dylan not having quite the race he was hoping, as he is currently sitting P14. Watch Pedro. He goes really aggressive on Mo. Can he make the move stick, though? Going around the outside. What a beautiful move for Pedro. Wow! Dylan with a beautiful switchback on whoever that was. I think that was Mo. On the inside of Dark Key. He's going to hit that cone. Frenny, fastest lap. I take back everything I say about not pushing. Obviously he is. Down the inside of Soup. They're going to make a little bit of contact, I think, but I think they'll get away with it. Number 74, Frenny, moves into P3. Big Plum and KNYT Kid. Wow, these guys in this mid-pack have been really aggressive this whole race. There goes everybody trying to slot in, trying to see what overtakes they can get. All the way around the outside, Big Plum goes. Gonna hold position, KNYT Kid. He was really swinging around, trying to get by. Dylan gets by Pedro. Wow, big spin! Avoids it, Pedro! Wow, he almost hit it. Diner. That is a big spin for Diner. People very likely got away avoiding. I think that is phenomenal. Batman, he has complained on the radio about his car losing the feedback in the steering. I wonder if Dylan ever got that fixed in his car. I know the Red Bull engineers work really hard in that garage, Davis. Really puts him to work there. Freddy, yet again, fastest lap. Takes it from himself. He is on a mission, and that mission is to hunt down Mark and take away this gap. Trying to make the one stop not work. Frenny getting ever closer to where Joshua. Big Plum gets by 7. Yellow flag's out. Oh, that looks like maybe an Audi had an issue in that first sector. Diner in Dark Key pit. Audi defending his position. Big slide for Sayao. KNYT will go through. Sayao, 14 laps on his tires. Those tires not giving him the grip that he thought he would have. That's why we saw that big spin there. Goes off track. Allows Dylan by. Dylan. He's on the attack on KNYT now. Using that to his advantage. On the hards. He'll be trying to push as hard as he can, trying to get by, and that is Dylan up into P7 on the attack. He's had 2 unlucky races back to back. The second Red Bull seat. Apparently the curse continues. But he's trying to make up for it as he is working his way through the grid. Djokovic and a phenomenal Batman, they'll be racing side by side in the second corner. We're going to do it again. Straight mode activated for both of them. E-Carb gets really close to hitting the back of that Audi, but just nearly avoids him. Not fighting for much, but if there's a DNF, it'll become points positions pretty soon. Frenny gets ahead of Bro Joshua. That move he was looking for since he pit. Now he has the clean air. We'll have to see how Frenny can react. He has to go defensive already on Bro Joshua. Trying to hold it defensively. He'll stay ahead into the first corner. He'll stay ahead into the second. Frenny in the clean air. He'll be really using this to his advantage, seeing where he can catch up to Mark. Close that gap. Trying to make the tire advantage to the best. Side by side, the Williams and the McLaren. I think we've seen them battle quite a bit this race. Pedro gets ahead. Dylan thinks about it on Big Plum. Can't quite make it. It'll be the next target on Dylan's checklist. Bo and Sayal pit. I think we'll see Mark pit very soon. The leader of this race. Mark has done a great job so far. He has played very patient, extending his tires as we move on to lap 18. Frenny. He'll be under attack shortly if he's not checking his mirrors. And there he goes. Bro Joshua gets ahead of Frenny. Now it's going to cause some issues for Frenny. He was enjoying that clean air. He's going to go for it. Into the first corner. They're going to make a little bit of contact. Side by side into the second one. Out through the third. It is Frenny who gets ahead. Straight mode immediately activated. Frenny, how much will he want to burn here? Enough to stay ahead. Soup. I don't know if he has the boost mode. He is really close to them, but he might be outside of the range. Soup might be falling out, but he has been playing very, very nicely. Sitting P4 for the Williams. Big Plum and KMYT can both pit. KMYT Kid will come out P15 right behind Mo. Say out P16. Frenny will still lead Bro Joshua and Soup. Enjoying this clean air, the Ferrari just showing off his pace and his skills. Mark should pit soon, and here he goes into the pits, making sure he doesn't get a speeding in the pit lane. Penalty. The championship leader and the race leader putting on fresh rubber, the mediums. Coming out, where will he be compared to Frenny? Bro Joshua on the attack as Frenny dips into the pits. Wow! What a bold move! Really? This is so interesting. That is completely uncalled for. Frenny into the pits, putting on fresh hards. And it's going to be a one-stint shootout for Mark and Frenny. Pure pace at this point. I guess Frenny will just have to play on the fact that his hards, after 10 laps, will feel better than the mediums. I don't know if that was the right call. I don't know if Frenny has the strategy down. I'll say that. 7 and Pedro. Side by side, beautiful racing. 7 gets ahead, up into P6. 7. Djokovic ahead of Phenomenal Batman and Big Plum. Big Plum on the fresh hards. Ooh, he'll be a little bit annoyed by that Audi. Compromising a little bit of his pace and speed. Frenny will get to say hello to his teammate very, very shortly. Really haven't been able to see each other all race. Just a Pedro separating them. Frenny will be pushing. He'll want that overtake. I wonder if Freddie on the radio will ask to swap positions. Once ahead, I wonder if Seven's already been given that call. Sometimes teams will do that. They'll say Freddie is going to come in close when he gets close. What a guy. Seven, I don't know if he'll have issues with swapping positions with his teammates. His teammate has been kind of in a different league this race. Showing off his pace. Behind Pedro still. Straight mode activated. Putting the overtake to its use. He gets ahead of Pedro. Now he'll have to catch up to his teammate. Capex leaving. Phenomenal Batman ahead of Big Plum. And Big Plum retakes his position, you can see in the bottom. Mo thinks about an overtake. Does not. Same with Sayao. Watching that gap 7. I want to see, will they swap cars? The Ferraris. If they are smart, they'll play the team game. They'll let Freddie by so that he can try to go for the win. Here's a big gap to mark. Don't know if the strategy was quite there for Freddie. If there was any time to swap him, it'd be now. Freddie gets by 7. I think that was a very clean swap between cars. He knew that they were about to do that, like I called. Lap 21 of 29. Bro Joshua currently leads. Soup has caught up to him. They'll really need to extend their tires if they are going to try to make the one-stop work. I think they pit just a little bit too early for the one-stop. There's Mark. You can see him. He is a hungry shark. And these guys are yummy, yummy little fishes that he can eat. And try to get by Mo on KNYT Kid, the Williams. Mo down the inside. Can he have the pace to make it stick? Not quite. KNYT Kid showing a brilliant display of pace here at Bahrain as he is defending the final points paying position. Seven has been doing a great job on his hards. Just has to bring it home at this point, trying to follow Freddie through a bit as Mark will take the fastest lap. Now he's trying to do what Freddie had to do. Kind of swapping positions. Freddie in the no man's land now. Doesn't have to deal with it, just like Mark was for a while he was leading. Now Mark has to get by Soup and Bro Joshua into clean air. Yeah, I really just think that the Ferrari strategy, unfortunately, will not help Freddie. Don't know if they quite nailed it. If Dylan can last on his tires, I think we'll have a driver of the day on our hands. That's at least my opinion. Watching the leaders, they're so close to each other. All of them within 0.5 of each other. Heading into a heavier braking zone. It'll be flat out. They'll be racing as I am instructed to invite Apex back. There he goes. Mark gets ahead of Soup. Now he'll be trying to get ahead of Joshua. Wow, that is Joseph. Stopped on track in Sector 2. These Haas drivers have not had a great start for their season. Joseph especially. The championship leader is attacking for the lead of this race again.
If I was the betting man, I would bet money on Mark to come home in P1. Not financial advice. Big Plum gets ahead of Batman. KNYT Kid and Mo fighting. Looks like KNYT Kid stays ahead of Mo. Freddie has found a lot of pace compared to his teammate. 1.7 the gap between them. 7 not quite able to hold on with his one-stop strategy. Mark gets by Bro Joshua into the lead of the race. But Bro Joshua will have the overtake. Diner gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Yellow flags are out! Uh-oh! I think that's Diner stuck on track! No, it's Mo! You can't really tell the difference between the loss. Cadillacs. Mark and Bro Joshua fighting. You can hear that Ford power engine just completely pushing it to the limits. Mark going defensive. Taking the inside line. Side by side with Bro Joshua for the lead of this race. Mark will hold it. Of course he will. Having a fantastic, beautiful drive so far. Will retire. Oh, that's gonna pull out a safety car! Oh my god! That's gonna mix things up! We'll have to see what everybody does now. A race that I thought was sealed and done might now be completely changing. Do you want the tires or do you want the track position? I think Freddie will go track position. Mark might go tires. He will. Bro Joshua cuts that yellow line, not the white line, sorry. That could be a penalty for him. But he'll duck into the pits too. Here's JDJ. He'll duck into the pits. Dylan. He will opt for the softs as well. 7 will pit. And like I said, Freddie going for the track position. He gets out ahead of Mark. That is crucial for this Ferrari's race. Pedro fits new softs. Djokovic, he will pit. Plum choosing the track position over Djokovic. Here's Phenomenal Batman and KNYT Kid in. Same with Air Knight, then comes Sayao, and Diner. Mo comes around the final corner, and he'll take the track position, passing everybody in the pits. Ooh, that will move him up into the points position, but he'll have to really hold on to that, just like Freddie in the front. All eyes are on the Scuderia Ferrari HP team. Freddie complaining on the radio about the strategy now. Not happy about how his strategy went.
Heading on to lap 26. People still yet to catch up. It really is always the Aston season. You're right. Half of the field has caught up. P10 and down has not. Hello, Zizan. I'm doing quite well. How are you? Yeah. What exactly happened to him in the first lap? Because I saw they both got spun in the first lap. Talking about the Haas's. Zizan does not know. He's helping them out, but not by much. Safety car will not be in this lap. We'll go another one. Hopefully it will be in after this one, leaving us 2 laps of racing here in Bahrain. Frenny really upset on the radio about the safety car, even though I think the safety car kind of helps him. Maybe not with that time penalty, though. It's just shows that caught up yet. That safety car will be in this lap regardless. It is Frenny who will be leading the restart. He has a 3-second time penalty for track limits. There goes 7 getting a 10-second. Oh, everybody's getting a 10-second. Barney is allowed to go whenever. And there he goes, accelerating on that corner. So many people are getting 10-second time penalties for yellow flag infringements. Frenny goes crazy, but Mark reacts quickly, going 3 wide into the first corner. They're all fighting for this win. Bro Joshua down the deep inside. I think he got the best exit. And it'll be Bro Joshua who will lead after the safety car restart. Going around the outside of Mark. Bro Joshua really struggling. but he'll be leading the race. Bro Joshua completely out of nowhere. And Freddie dropping down the order. Soup looking at a beautiful podium spot right now. Seven gets by his teammate. They're swapping positions. Freddie on the 9-lap old hards. Apparently it's not treating him well. Mark really doesn't need to do much here, but Joshua does have that time penalty. As we will head down into the final lap of this Grand Prix. Even though Mark doesn't need to, he'll be looking for the overtake anyways. Mark and Bro Joshua are going to be fighting into turn 1 for the lead of this race. Cameraman having a little bit of a mess up. What the heck is that? Mark looking for the move down the inside of Bro Joshua. The Aston Martin has been trying to give it everything he has, but it's not quite enough as he goes side by side with Mark, hitting into the side of him. Might give him some damage. Soup gets by the Aston too. Bro Joshua down to second. The third, sorry. KYT Kid will get a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Here goes Mark to round into the second sector. Straight mode activated. That mid-pack moving all about. Freddie, who once led this race for several laps, now unfortunately looking at falling out of the top 5. Pedro threatening him all around the back of him. Same with JDJ in that Cadillac. But it is Mark in the Red Bull and Soup in the Williams fighting for the lead down into the last quarter. But with Soup's time penalty, it won't matter. It is Mark who will win the Bahrain GP, going 2 for 2, back-to-back Grand Prix wins for the championship leader. Soup P2, Bro Joshua P3, rounding off the podium. Pedro P4, JDJ P5, Freddie P6. Here are the provisional results. Mark in P1, winning the Grand Prix. Soup P2 from P4. Bro Joshua P3, running off that podium. Pedro P4. And then JDJ in P5. Freddie falling down the order P6. The biggest leader and gainer today. P17 to P7. It is Capex. Can't Wait T Kid sits in P8. Sayao P9 from P20. Joseph in P10, and Diner P11. 7 will round off the points. P12, Big Plum P13, Arrowed P14, Dylan P15, 16 is Mo Djokovic P17, Phenomenal Batman in P18, Dark T P19, and Slayer Sakad in P20. And here is the race director for anyone who needs it. Oh my god, I couldn't get through all of it. Holy crap. I'm so sorry, guys. I have been Toasty Oven Bread. I have been your commentator tonight. I love you all.